Love you all. Welcome all you lovers to the Florida Love Show. This is your love hour right before happy hour, sponsored by Florida Love. Join us each week as we spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love. Now, back to spreading love.
Florida Love Show theme song. In the Florida Love Show, Aim Love Forward is the theme. It's the Florida Love Show, hosted by Kenny and History. Every special guest brings their love to the set, and the interview flies. It all comes alive like a duet. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. In the Florida Love Show, Kenny in red is your guide. He wears many hearts, so he has a very special side. Now in Brooklyn Cafe, there's a big love buffet with roses galore, men you are adore. Come take a bouquet. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. It's the gift of love, so pay it forward, love it forward, and go. Give a kiss, give a hug. It's the Florida Love Show.
Sharon, love you so much. Sharon's amazing, and Sharon will be on later to sing a special love song. So welcome all your lovers to the Florida Love Show. Here we spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love, and we love everybody. So I love you all, and I'm very excited. I'm like in love today because Roses for Change, we went out and we gave over 200 roses at Bed Bath & Beyond in Boca to like the most amazing people, and they were so moved, and they like some were even in tears. I mean, people all wanted to know like what was this all about. Well, this is a global love movement to transform the world with love, and for me it's very special. And I love everybody, and I wake up every morning and I'm like, I choose love, because to me, love is freedom. And if I get angry or resentful, that's like me swallowing poison and hoping the other person dies. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in love. So here we just love everybody. So today I went out and loved everybody. I always say to myself, if I want to love myself, go out and love other people. So I love you all. I'm so excited for this show. And we have platforms to spread love. That's what Florida Love is. So we have 4 different Facebooks. We have Love Will Keep Us Together, where we just tell each other how much we love each other. We have Florida Love Networking, where we post all different types of events, business community, nonprofits to spread love. We also have love songs, and we also have a virtual call called Love Circle, and hopefully that will open up to an in-person event where we can spread love. And then we also just started Roses for Change. So Roses for Change came about after George Floyd's death. And I was just so moved by, I guess I just wanted to go out, and I just saw that all the African Americans, how much they were hurting, and I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to do something about it. So I just started buying roses in Whole Foods and Publix and giving out roses to all the African Americans in the store. And they were so moved. They gave me hugs. They told me how much they loved me. I mean, what I find is I say I love you to everybody. 99% of the people say I love you back. So they said, God bless you. I mean, they're just so beautiful. And for me, I don't see color. I see human beings. We're all human beings. I mean, again, we all have hearts. We all have brains. We all have skin. So for me, we're all the same. We're human beings. So as human beings, let's all love each other. I mean, let's all love each other. So what I'm going to put on now is the news came last week to Bed Bath & Beyond, and I'm going to show that clip so you get an idea what Roses for Change is all about. I love you.
Welcome back. Now at 5:30, who couldn't use a little love right now?
One Pompano Beach businessman is making it his mission to spread love all around by giving out the flower of love to random strangers. CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo has this heartwarming story.
There's an old song with lyrics that say what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Ken Lehrman is living that moment in a movement he created called Roses for Change.
We love you.
The idea for Roses for Change came about after the death of George Floyd and the turmoil that followed.
I felt their pain. And for me, I don't see color. I mean, I see us all as human beings. And we all can love each other. I mean, love is simple.
Ken, who owns his own printing business for 35 years, appropriately named the Happy Printer, decided to spring into action, purchasing dozens of roses he could hand out.
The first thing I did was I went to Whole Foods, and I also went to Publix, and I gave out roses to all the African Americans in the store. And I said, I love you. And they said, I love you back. And they said, God bless you. And they said, we need love more now than ever before.
Ken was so moved by the response, he posted pictures on Facebook, receiving 600 likes. Suddenly, Roses for Change on Facebook was born. His followers wanted to join him, buying roses too, and it's now become a movement, spreading love to people of all races. We recently caught up with them in Boca Raton.
I just want to say I love you. Have a wonderful day.
Michelle Bellman, who had never met Ken in person, wanted in on the love train and came out on this day to volunteer.
His message is just of love, and love yourself, and love one another. And he speaks to my soul, and he speaks to me because I love to spread love as well.
Some were skeptical, wondering if there's a catch to these random acts of kindness. But for those who understood it, it meant the world.
I think it's just amazing. This is really, really nice. You're really showing your love. You're taking your time to do this. Just amazing. And the red flowers, forget it. Just bringing brightness to this world. It's much needed. Thank you so much.
Seriously, so sweet.
Can you imagine what a world it would be like if we just all gave roses to each other instead of what's actually going on? Like, to me, that's a way to spread a message. Spread the message of love.
Lucky me, I received my rose. For more information on Roses for Change when they meet every Friday, go on to our website at cbsmiami.com. I'm Lisa Petrillo, Smelling Sweet, CBS 4 News.
I love you, Lisa. Smelling sweet. Thank you. And so for me, love is the absence of judgment. And for me to just love all people. So like, I get on TV and I say, I love President Obama and I love Donald Trump. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with them or I agree with either their policies or certain policies, the thing for me is love is universal. And so then I don't have to deal with anger or resentment. I could just, I don't want to skin, I don't want to swallow poison. I could just love people. So let's all love each other. I mean, love will keep us together. Let's all love each other. So we have a huge love march in Wilton Manors on Sunday at noon. And I'm inviting everyone to come out with love, with roses. We have love stickers designed by Florencia, who's going to be on the show later. And actually, the police chief in Wilton Manors is going to be there, and law enforcement, and we have all different, again, races, creeds, colors, everybody to just love each other. And he was so moved. And the fact that we're going to love the law enforcement community, we're going to love everyone. So please come out to Wilton Manors at noon. It'll be at Publix at 5 Points. It's just south of Oakland on Dixie. And again, I invite everybody out there. So I'm going to bring out my first guest, Sharon, who loves to sing from her heart. I mean, she loves to give the gift of song. She wrote the Florida Love Show song, and Sharon's going to sing a very special song for us. So welcome, Sharon, to the Florida Love Show. How are you, Sharon?
Great. So happy to be here.
Yeah, so Sharon, actually Sharon and Florencia later on will share a story. For me, love spreads outward, and everybody who's come on the show and has gotten involved in Florida Love and Roses for Change, their lives have been transformed with love. So, Sharon, please share with me, how has your life been transformed with love?
Ever since being on the Kenny Love Show, it just brings it to my awareness every day. You know, we love each other, we love people, we love our family, but today the world really could use a huge dose of love from everything that's going on between the fear of COVID-19 and then Black Lives Matter and all of that anger and hurt and the unknown. So love and Roses for Change, I mean, Kenny has the biggest heart. I would say it's a heart of gold, but I think it's a heart of love. And it's just been amazing to be a part of it. I'm so grateful. And we get to meet a lot of wonderful people and make more connections, and it just keeps growing.
Yeah, so it keeps spreading. And Sharon and I, we say I love you to each other. Now, Sharon's married, and I love her husband. I love her whole family. The thing about love is people always say, oh, well, like as me as a guy, if I say I love you to a guy, then I'm gay. Or if I say I love you to Sharon, she's married. Well, wait a second, you're not supposed to say I love you to someone who's married. Or, there's so much like about love, like whatever. I call it, well, I guess mishigas, or I call it
people
caca.
Make it mean.
What? Say it
What
again?
people make it mean. They add meanings instead of keeping it clean, just love.
Yeah, or like what people make it mean. So maybe love is just love. It's a term of endearment, and it's a really special term of endearment. And what I find is the ultimate happiness is to say I love you to each other, to love and be loved. And so here we say I love you. And I encourage everybody out there, who could you give a rose to today? Who could you say I love you today, whether it's in your family or in your life? So Sharon, I love you so much. So Sharon's going to sing for us today a special song about love. And so Sharon, let us know, what are you going to sing for us today?
The Rose by Bette Midler, a beautiful song and very dear to my heart, and couldn't think of anything more fitting to Roses for Change, a song called The Rose. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you far beneath the bitter snows lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose. Thank you. That one always touches my heart.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So Sharon, what does that mean to you from your heart when you sing that song?
You know, love matters. And really, if everyone's heart was there and listening from there, nothing else would matter. There would be no barriers, no judgments, no criticisms. And this one specifically, you know, I love Bette Midler, love the movie The Beaches. And this song is that really reminder of love is everlasting, and you plant seeds and you plant seeds and they grow, and then when they die, they leave a seed and it grows. So it's kind of like that infinity of continuance with love. And love is like a candle, you know? I always say that you can't take too much out of it. So if I'm lighting 10 candles or 100 candles or 1 candle with my first candle, nothing goes away from that. And that's how I feel about love. You can't love enough people. So, yeah.
So beautiful, Sharon.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I created Gift of Song, because that's another way of showing love to your loved one, to a special person that has a special event in their life. It could be a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, or even a graduation, or just because you love them and you wanted to give them a gift of song. And we interview you, we write a customized song like I did with the Kenny Love Show, and then we deliver it in either in an MP3 or a live performance before COVID. And then you have the words and the lyrics about you and about your loved one and your special connection and that special event forever, framed in a beautiful frame. That's what I do, and you can find Gift of Song on Facebook.
Yeah, so everybody go out and find Gift of Song on Facebook and find Sharon to have a special song prepared a la Sharon for your loved ones. And so for me, the difference between a dream and reality is action. So here at Florida Love, we talk about love action. So who can you go out and say I love you to? Who can you give a rose to? I love you, Sharon.
Love you, Kenny.
Yeah, and like, if there's somebody you love, tell them. Tell them I love you, especially now with what's going on. So I love everybody, and so we're going to take a commercial break right now, and then we're going to come back with Florencia and Twan later on. I'm so excited, and I love you all. You've been listening to the Florida Love Show. Please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995 or Ken at florida-love.com or on our website, www.florida-love.com. And if you'd like to advertise on the show and spread love in the Florida community, please let me know. Now back to the show. Welcome all you lovers back to the Florida Love Show. So today I'm so honored to have Florencia on the show. So Florencia we actually have a thing that happened that was absolutely amazing. I'm sharing with Florencia about like what's new with her artwork, and she's up to some really incredible stuff. And Florencia, she says to me, "Who's going to be on the Florida Love Show today?" So I said, "Well, we have this amazing guy, Twan, who's a professional football player from the NFL, and he's got this incredible education foundation called the Russell Education Foundation. And then we have Sharon, who's going to be on the show. She's going to sing." And Florencia goes, "I think I know Sharon. I think I painted a mural for her like 14 years ago. Is her husband a dentist?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my God, I think I painted a mural." So I call Sharon. I'm like, "Sharon, this woman painted a mural for you," and I played it off, and Sharon's like, yeah, for my daughter's bathroom. And she's like, "She's Brazilian, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, maybe she went back to Brazil." She's like, "Well, I don't know where she is." So anyway, well, I'm like, no, it's Florencia. Florencia is going to be on the show. So all this spreading of love, all of a sudden, Sharon and Florencia were totally connected. And to me, that's incredible. So Florencia and Sharon are going to come on just to share a little bit about this amazing transformation of love. So please, Florencia, share. So this is like the first time since Sharon had a mural painted from Florencia.
Yes, it's funny how small the world is, right? Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Florencia. It's so great to see you.
And by the way, I'm from Spain, not from Brazil, but I understand that a lot of people get confused. And I was at the time with someone who was from Brazil, so maybe that's where the confusion came in.
Yeah, Spain, Brazil. What I remembered was a beautiful lady drew me a gorgeous picture that I had in my brain, and she put it on paper before she put it on my wall. She got me immediately. I felt so gotten that that's exactly was my vision. And then it went from the wall and it came to life on my wall, and this was a 3D mural. All the butterflies, all the nest with the little bird, the bees that you brought from Spain, I believe, and a few other things, and even the tree and the landscaping we did with paper mache and then like a white picket fence that I think we bought those pieces from what do you call that? Home
Depot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And bottom line, you are amazing. You were amazing 14 years ago. I'm sure you've even evolved into a more esteemed artist, and it's still alive. I took pictures. I had my daughter send them to me today so that you could see that it stayed intact.
Oh, wow.
And we love it. It's my favorite room in the house, I think.
Wow, that's great. I mean, it blows my mind that we even reconnected, because I don't know how I met you through somebody else, and so it was I just did that. We had that short period that we did this, and then we never kept in touch. So, I didn't know if you were still around here where you live, but it's just great. It's just great. It's like full circle. And you actually have the first thing that I painted in the U.S. So I wasn't even a full-time artist at the time. I was working designing kitchens and bathrooms, and so it wasn't at all something that I was thinking I could do full-time. And you have the first piece of art that I did in the U.S. So there you go. It took me another almost 10 years after that to do it full-time.
Wow, that's so amazing. It was so funny, because when Kenny called me and he's like, "How long have you been in this house?" And I'm like, "Oh, about 14, 15 years. And he's like, do you have a mural in the bathroom?" And I'm thinking, how does he know about something? He was never upstairs in my house. And I'm like, okay, who do you know? Kenny, who do you know? I thought you were his cousin or sister or something, that somehow, one thing led to another, and, it was hilarious. And then he kept it going for a while, didn't want to say. And I said, "Come on, Kenny, who do you know?" And then there you were with me on that poster for today's show. And it was just, wow, what a small world. And
yes, definitely. Well, thank you. It's great to see you again anyway.
So I love you, Sharon. Thank you. Love you. Mwah. So Florencia, you're a miracle. I mean, when I saw this mural, the butterflies are coming out of the wall. I mean, it's 3D. She's got a nest coming out of the wall with, like, I think there was a bird in it, and And I don't need, all I know is there's a fence around the bathroom that's like 3D. I mean, Florencia drew this out for Sharon before she even did it. And she was the only mural artist that Sharon had hired, because she hired a bunch of them that could do that. So this is Florencia. She's a miracle. I'm so honored to have you on the show today. And just even looking at what's behind you, Florencia.
Thank you. Well, let me tell you, this one is actually called Love Healer.
Love Healer. And
Yes.
I met Florencia after Kobe Bryant's passing, where I'm on Facebook Live, and I get on Florencia's Facebook Live, and there's Kobe Bryant, the most gorgeous Kobe Bryant I have ever seen, like lifelike coming out of me. And especially I was so moved, like to tears, because he had just passed, and I loved him so much. And Florencia, can you show everybody the Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, let me just get it right here. So this is a print of it, because it's actually larger than what I have behind me. This is the print, which I have available also for sale if anyone would like it. It's painted on an area rug, and the original is 8 feet by 5 feet. So it's really, really big. As I say, it's larger than what I have behind me.
And Florencia, so Florencia, share with everybody about like your gallery and what's going on with Art by Florencia right now.
Well, I have a few things going on. One is an ongoing show that will be up until the end of August. It's in Las Olas Capital Arts, downtown Fort Lauderdale, and I can do private tours for anyone who would like it. Just reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to give you a private tour. And then I also have my studio, which is in History Fort Lauderdale, the Museum of History of Fort Lauderdale. I'm an artist in residence for the Historical Society of Fort Lauderdale. So I'm there every Wednesday and some other days, but definitely on Wednesdays. If anyone wants to come by my studio, it's open to the public from noon until 4. And then I am just always doing something. I do a lot on Facebook, definitely, and some on Instagram. But on Facebook, people can follow my adventure. If you'd like to see progress on whatever I'm painting, or just I jump on sometimes just to try to connect to people. You can follow me on my page, Art by Florencia.
It's so great. And Florencia and I were sharing. So I had seen this post from Florencia on Father's Day about her dad. And I was in tears. I was so moved. And I called Florencia and I said, I want to share with you about this, because I was just so touched. So Florencia, share more about your post, and then I'm going to do a loving memory to her father.
Would you like me to actually read the post now?
I think I would rather show the in memory first, so people get an idea. And the thing is it's the ultimate forgiveness. And to me, forgiveness is to give up resentment. And for me, I just forgive everybody, because again, I don't want to swallow poison. Resentment is poison, so I want to love everybody. And forgiveness, I call forgiveness. Forgiveness is freedom, and Florencia is free.
I am
free to love, and just free. And so here at Florida Love, we're about love and freedom. So Florencia, I want to show her amazing father. Incredible father. So we did a loving memory to her dad. Please show that.
Thank you. Wow, that makes me emotional just watching it. Thank you. That's beautiful. And now I'm supposed to read this post. I don't know if I can without crying. So what happened is that the day before Father's Day, on June 20th, it was my father's birthday. He would have been 88. So I wrote something for him, and I shared part of my process, which is about forgiveness and about finding something positive to connect to and to have that attached to a memory rather than the negative memories that we might carry because of what happened when we were children or whenever. So I can read what I wrote. Bear with me. Right here. Okay. So I say, today my papa would have been 88 had he not died 35 years ago, just days after I turned 14. Up until a couple years ago, I didn't really have anything positive I associated with my papa. After all, he was an alcoholic, abused my mother to the point of making us leave home when I was 8, and wouldn't support us or spend quality time with my sister or me. I have very few memories with him, and most of them are from when we took him in to take care of him as he was dying of cancer. But as I reevaluated my life a couple years ago, after my divorce while going through therapy to help process grief on many levels, I came to a beautiful realization for which I'll be forever thankful. I acknowledge that my artistic vein came directly from my papa's side of the family. It's thanks to him that I inherited my artistic gift. At that moment, I made a pact, sort of an agreement with him. I flew to Spain and wrote him a letter that I left at his tombstone in my hometown 2 summers ago. And you saw that photo in the memory that you put up. In it, I told him how much I love him and thanked him for my gift. I also told him that he owed me $1 million for the pain and suffering I had gone through as a child. My agreement is that every time I sell my artwork, he is repaying me and lowering the debt he personally has with me, one painting at a time. So every time I sell a painting, I'm sharing my gift, and I'm also sharing the best part of my papa while healing my relationship with him. Happy birthday, Papa. I hope you're smiling as you see me pursue my passion and be happier than I've ever been.
Wow.
So that's what I posted, and it was sincere sharing, and I was hoping that other people could understand that there's always something that you can find that you can be thankful for and that you can appreciate, and make that be your memory, not whatever suffering you had and whatever negative experience you went through. Even though that will always be there, just not have that be the only thing that you're attached to. And for me, it was huge to be able to suddenly have something positive to relate to my dad. And it happens to be the biggest thing, the thing that makes me the happiest, and that's painting. And until then, I hadn't even made the association. But when I was in therapy, we went through, well, what did I inherit from both sides of the family? And so I got my mother, and she's compassionate, and she has all these great virtues that hopefully I've got some also of. And then when it came to my dad, suddenly we were looking at what people on my dad's side of the family had done. And my grandmother was a wonderful sculptress and painter. And she actually taught art in New York and LA, and she was Italian. So she was amazing in art. And although my father didn't paint, obviously that gene came from that side of the family. And it was like, I made that connection. I went, wow, I finally have something to be really thankful for, other than the fact that he gave life to me, but just something so big. So it really is. It's huge. Right now, my life is art. And that's all I want it to be, basically. And love and being able to share and put out positive messages through art. So it was huge. It was huge. And I wanted to share that with people so that they realize that there's always something you could find.
Yeah, so there's a deeper meaning to your art beyond this gorgeous art. Papa.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a way of sharing him too through me.
Yeah, so Florencia's just been spreading Papa's love through her artwork, and actually at the Love March on Sunday, Florencia created these amazing I love you stickers. So I printed these amazing I love you stickers. We're all going to wear them, and we're also going to give them out. So and they are just gorgeous.
I'll show you. I've got some here.
Yeah.
I've got the originals right here. Sorry while I get them. So these are these are the original drawings or paintings, actually, I should say. And Kenny was so kind and generous to want to print up stickers of this, and I just thought it was perfect. He'd be giving out roses and I'll be giving out hearts, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. So thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. I love you so much, Florencia, so much. And,
love you too.
Yeah, and we could just, anybody who comes to the Love March, bring whatever, either whether it's just yourself because you're such a lover, or just bring something if you want to share love. There's a zillion ways to share love and spread love, and love goes outward. That's what's so cool about love. It just keeps going outward, and that's how we're going to transform the world with love, by spreading love. And so Florencia, I'm very excited to share those stickers with everybody on Sunday, and I'm so happy you're going to be there.
Thank you. I made these, they weren't initially going to be stickers, obviously. I made them this weekend as I was going through Father's Day and the post that I did on my dad and all that. And I felt like I needed to do hearts. I was so upset with what's going on in general, and just felt like I couldn't really concentrate on anything else. And it was just my very raw expression of love. I mean, what signifies love more than, just this little figure that makes a heart. So I thought I can make these and I can get my mind off of things and try to pour in something positive into this. And then when you messaged me and you wanted me on the show, I actually thought you messaged me because you'd seen my hearts and said, oh, I want to do something with this to give out with the roses. That's what came into my mind. And then you said, well, I actually want you on a show, but that's a great idea. So there we go. We combined all ideas, and now we have something wonderful.
Yeah, love spreads outward. It just keeps going,
yes.
going. And everybody who's been on the show and involved in Florida Love, their life's been transformed with love. Just saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, it's so beautiful. I wake up every day saying, I love you, I love you, I love you to all my friends on Love Will Keep Us Together. There's over 2,000 people on that now. And like Florencia and I, we say I love you to each other. I mean, it's so beautiful to have that friendship in our life, that special friendship that we have. And Florencia, you're so special. Your art is so gorgeous, so beautiful, stunning.
Thank you. It's my way of spreading love too. I really think that it's about putting positive messages out there. We are bombarded with negative images of everything. We need more positive images and positive messages, and so everybody has their way of doing it. You're doing it with your roses. You're doing it by creating all these platforms so that people can share love, and that's amazing. And my way of doing it is through a paintbrush. And getting on social media and sharing with people, because we crave that contact. We need contact more than ever now. We need positive images more than ever, positive messages. And you give out your messages every time you give a rose. I put out my positive vibes, hopefully, every time I jump on Facebook or anytime I'm painting. There's a lot that goes into it.
So I call everybody Love. So Florencia Love, I love you so much. I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to take a commercial break and come back with Twan and this amazing foundation that he's created. You've been listening to the Florida Love Show. Please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995 or Ken at florida-love.com or on our website, www.florida-love.com. And if you'd like to advertise on the show and spread love in the Florida community, please let me know. Now back to the show. Hey, all you lovers, back to the Florida Love Show. So I am so honored today to have Twan on the show. Twan, he's a professional NFL football player who in his second year of the NFL created this amazing foundation called the Russell Education Foundation. And so we're going to share more about it. So welcome, Twan, to the Florida Love Show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you. So Twan, please share with us about the foundation.
Primarily we're a literacy foundation. We're 21 years old. It started at a kitchen table. I was sitting there with my mom, and we were just talking about, what can we do to serve the community? And as we were talking about the challenges that we had in our home, we said, we bet a lot of other families have the same challenges. So we put pen to paper and started really small in a church. And I think 20 kids showed up the first night, and we did that for a couple of months. And then we said, it's starting to get too big for this space. So we put a sign on a door after talking to one of the city officials in Broward County. And we expected to maybe get 30 kids. A month later, we had over 100 kids registered and wanted to participate. We didn't even have enough money to run the program. But we said, let's go, let's start. The seed money I gave out of my own pocket, and then Publix came on board, and then we had some other sponsors come on board and help us get through that first year. And before we know it, we're in our third year, and then we changed our curriculum a little bit because we realized that the issue was not that kids couldn't do their homework. The issue was that they couldn't read the work that they needed to read. So we became more literacy focused. So we focused on the fundamentals of reading and writing, and we started hiring certified teachers that came in every single day to impact our kids and teach them the skills that they didn't know. We didn't understand the power of learning, the power of reading. Now we have kids who have gone on to get married, and they have very productive lives. They're raising their children, and they're contacting us back now and saying that, I'm successful, not just because of my family, but you had a big role in it. And I think that's what motivates us today, and that's what keeps us going. Even in these challenging times, it's a challenge for a foundation who depends on other people to come on board and help you and give you the resources. Now, when you're challenged because people don't have the resources in some instances to give you, but we know it's very important to impact and empower these children, because at the end of the day, they're our future, and we have a responsibility to make sure that they have what they need so that they can be successful. And there's never been a moment in our foundation, in our history, that God has not provided what we needed. And even in the darkest moments and the hardest moments, He still showed up, and He still provided every single thing that we need to serve our children.
So Twan, you started this foundation, and you grew up in Lauderdale Lakes, so you're right here from Southern Florida. And then you thought 30 people are going to show up, 30 kids, and did you say 400 kids showed up?
No, a little over 100 kids showed up.
A little over 100 kids showed up. So again, you thought 30, 100. So what was it about that so many kids show up that they want to be there? What is it about your organization?
Well, it wasn't, I wouldn't say our organization could take the credit of why the kids showed up. I think it just says that there's a need. I mean, when you look at how do you close the economic gap, how do you close, the gap of people being successful, having a job, being employed, buying a home, education is that one thing, that one central element that you can put your hand on. When kids are educated, when people can read and they can learn for themselves and they can advance through business and they can, grow and transform and earn income, they're able to do the things that they want to do in life. And I think we were just uniquely positioned during a time in the early 90s in the late 90s, that I happened to be from South Florida. I was playing football, and there was a significant need in the community that I grew up in. So 100 kids showing up was nothing about me. We just happened to be there to collect those kids and have teachers come in and serve them every single day. And I think that's the beauty of our foundation is it's not about me. I truly believe if I was not here tomorrow, that our foundation could exist separate from me. And I think that's a testament to the volunteers and to our board and to parents that entrust their kids to us. We work really hard to put ourselves out of business. We joke about it all the time. We're like, we can't wait for the day that we're no longer needed. And we can walk into a boardroom and say, hey, we're going to dissolve this organization and give away all the money. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon in my lifetime, but I think, this problem can definitely be solved. If kids don't have the educational resources that they need, they cannot be successful. And educated people progress throughout our economy, throughout our country. And we want to make sure that the families in the lower income homes who have challenges, maybe the educational system is not as efficient as they need it to be. Maybe it's, because they have one parent and they're working food on the table and they don't have time to do that extra work with their child. But whatever that situation is, we want to make sure that we're providing a service to provide those kids and that we have teachers and resources and an environment that when those kids come in, they're being shown love. The number one word that we use with our kids is that we love them. The number one, that's the weapon of choice. That's the thing that we use to transform children. When a child realizes that you love them and that you're buying into them, they will work hard for you. Number one, they'll love you back, and they will flourish. Because love is almost like fertilizer. When you apply it to a situation, you have positive growth, and it's hard not to have positive growth when you're showing kids love, and that's what we do. That's why, people say, well, why don't you have more computers and things involved? Because I believe people teach people, and that process comes through that love environment of a teacher loving on a child until they get understanding to progress on their own.
People teaching people, people loving people, so that the kids are so loved that they want to come, get educated, be a part of the foundation. So Twan, I want to show the clip about the foundation so everybody can relate and get to know all the love and what you're all about.
People teach people, and people need a little bit of help. You have parents who are trying to make extra money, put food on the table, and they're getting home 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and they need someone to take care of their kids while they're at work. And that's what we did. Initially it was just helping kids with their homework, and then we realized that homework wasn't the problem.
Parents that are working and going to school themselves, a lot of times you don't have the extra time to spend with your child after a long day, and then you're trying to get them dinner. So I would recommend this program simply because it's an added benefit to their education. It gets them excited for learning, and it's free.
So the first thing we thought about, how did we do our homework, and how was education run in our house? My mom was a teacher of over 30 years. And then somewhere around 9:30 at night, she would go, did you guys do your homework? And, I have 4 other brothers, so it was 5 of us. And every night we would say, no, we hadn't done anything. And my mom would kill herself, stay up until 12 o'clock at night to make sure that we did our spelling work, to make sure that we did all of our assignments, make sure that we did all the things that we needed to do. And at that table, we realized that, families like ours who just needed a hand, just needed someone to help, they just need someone to help stand in the gap between the teacher, the child, and the parent.
School was just like a job for me. I'd go to school and I wouldn't wait to go home, man. At some point I felt like I wasn't learning as fast as other kids and I was behind. And then I actually talked to my teacher, Miss Clement, and she actually gave me a talk and said, it's not that I'm not learning at the same rate, I just need to focus a little bit more. And she actually gave me an opportunity to get better and read a little bit more, and I caught up. And eventually, from being here, it always gave me like an advantage. I was always ahead of other kids that wouldn't really be able to go home and study.
You know, one of my exciting moments that I've had in the 20 years that I've been here is that I coach high school football. And I'm walking through the hallway and one of my students, Dante Looney, I said, Dante, man, you did a great job this semester. I love how hard you're working in the classroom. And I'm looking at his grades and I was just so proud of him. And he goes, Coach, it's because of you. And I said, how is it because of me? Like, Luna, I've only been coaching you for a couple of months. He says, Coach, when I was a kid, when I was in elementary school, I went to the Russell Education Foundation and I got goosebumps.
I'm a firm believer about doing things with my children. Kids need exposure. Kids need to learn to read. Reading involves everything. Russell Reading exposes the children to this. Reading is essential. It's like reading a recipe.
I feel like my whole, everything, my people skill, from my people skills to my education to the way I walk around, I feel like I have a bright future ahead of me. I have great mentors and great people that's guiding me towards a positive and a very promising future.
About building dreams of our kids through education. And that's why we have the center. It's people teaching people. It's a very simple concept. And, you know, we just need people to help us. We need people to partner with us. We need people to walk with us. And if we can do that, I guarantee you, this country will get everything that it wants from their youth. We just need more people to do things that we're doing through education or partner with us so that we can transform them.
Amazing. So Twan, you need people to get involved. You need teachers, everybody out there. How could they get involved?
You know, one of the biggest things that we need are volunteers. We do a couple events a year, and we need people just to come out and help us run the events. We also need, you know, people to serve on our committees. We have event committees and different committees that people come on, they volunteer and help us provide services for the kids. And also we need financial resources. And sometimes, you know, some people say, well, I don't have money for it. Well, everyone has a gift, you know, and sometimes your gift may remove a cost from us. So I always tell people, make the phone call, give us a call and say, you know, that you want to help. And you'll be surprised. Some of the things that you just have around your house may save hundreds of dollars for us. Sometimes companies go out of business and, you know, they'll call us and say, hey, we have thousands of pieces of paper and it has our logo on it, but our company's gone out of business. And we say, bring it to us because we need scrap paper. Like when kids are doing math and when they're doing word problems, they need to write. They don't care the logo that's on the paper. So when you start thinking about the way that we've survived, I always tell people we beg, borrow, and steal. And, you know, we do it in the kindest way possible. But at the end of the day, it takes money. You know, we're a small organization. You know, our budget's about $600,000 a year, and in the nonprofit world, it's not a big budget, but we serve 800 kids daily. And I would challenge most organizations to, you know, to show me how they are able to do that. We do it because we don't own buildings. You know, we focus on the people. Our number one asset are our teachers, our flesh and blood people, and that's where we put our investment. And I believe when you have the right people providing the right service, that's when you have the great change. And we have great teachers who are serving our kids. When our kids walk in, you know, we spend a lot of time on, hey, a kid hugs you, you know what? How do you hug them back and it's appropriate? I know that, you can't hug kids and it's not like the old days, you can just pick them up and throw them around, but I believe that there's something that happens, there's some type of engagement that happens when someone shakes your hand or when someone gives you a hug. There's a trust level, there's a barrier that falls. And in education, people don't learn from people they don't trust. They don't learn from people they don't believe in. And we see the biggest change in our kids in year 2, because the first year is, okay, I just want to see if this lady's going to believe me. I'm going to act like I'm going to be a bad kid in the classroom. I'm going to talk over her. I'm going to do bad things. And I want to see if she's still going to love me through it. And we talk about love is not a feeling. Love is an action word. It's something that you have to do. In the Bible, it talks about, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Like, we believe that God gave himself, like, for our sins. So that's how we act. Our teachers give themselves every single day, and they love their kids into submission. They love them to a point where that kid literally gives up and say, okay, I'm going to believe what this lady says. I'm going to believe what this man says. And that's what it's about. I mean, like I said earlier, our weapon of choice is love. Our weapon of choice is the belief in our kids. And our weapon of choice is know that when we look at these children, that they are truly the future. It's not something we say, it's something that we believe. And every single day we try to have action that directs us that way. And if we don't go into things that don't serve our kids, if there's something that's not going to benefit our children, we don't need it. So, we're a simple concept, a simple organization. We're a small organization that I think that we're doing big things. We're doing God's work. At least that's what we hope we're doing. And I don't know if I am serving the next president or the next leader of the free world or the next great mother or father. I don't know who I'm serving. And we're very careful about that, because what if the child that we serve is the answer of tomorrow's problems? And we are very careful to make sure that when we serve our children, we serve them from the vein that what we're giving that child, they're going to need to solve the world's problems. So that's us in a nutshell.
It's awesome, Twan, what you're up to. So how do all these teachers and volunteers get involved? What's the number that they call?
Just you can go to our website at russelleducationfoundation.com. You can give us a call at 954-921-3787. We're always looking for people to get involved. We need speakers to talk to our kids. We need financial resources, and we just need people to help us show our kids love. So you can give us a call again, 954-921-3787, or go to our website at russelleducationfoundation.com.
Twan, I'm really moved by what you're up to. I want to thank you so much. I love you so much, Twan. It was just great speaking to you today, and I really want to thank you for being on the Florida Love Show today. It's been an honor.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, have a great day. All right, everybody. So thank you for watching the Florida Love Show. Please get involved in the Russell Education Foundation. Now, if you want to contribute, and just know here at Florida Love, we love you all. And please go out, love someone. Who can you give a rose to? Love you all. You've been listening to the Florida Love Show, where we've been spreading love in the Florida community. For more information, please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995, or Ken at florida-love.com, or on our website, florida-love.com. See you next week, 3 p.m. Friday for the Friday Love Hour. Keep spreading love in your life, and have a loving,